Yo guys, what's up? Gimpzor here. Didn't think I was going to play Season 17, but I am. Coming at you here with a little build guide for Necromancer for farming T16. This build is one of the fastest, if not very close to the fastest build for farming T16 in my opinion. This is your Skeletal Mage, self-sustaining Necromancer. So we will first go over skills and abilities, and then I'll go over armor, and we will do a quick run to show you what it's capable of, and then that will conclude the video. So for gear, there's a couple things you can change out here and there that you don't necessarily need, but we'll go over here what I'm running, and then I'll kind of go over some options if you don't have what I'm wearing. So this is Legacy of Nightmares. So the more ancient pieces you have, the more damage you'll deal. However, you can do lower torments efficiently with less ancient pieces. So first of all, and also one thing to note here, a lot of my pieces are augmented for rat runs. However, it doesn't make a big difference at all in Torment 16. So start off here, shoulders, Rosette's Volition, helmet, Leorc's Crown, amulet is Haunted Visions, chest piece, Requiem, we'll just call it Requiem chest plate, Tasker and Theo for gloves, Nemesis bracers for your bracers, a gold wrap, and this is going to be synergizing with Avarice Band and Boon of the Hoarder. Rings are Unity and Circle of Neluge Evol. Pants are Golem Skin Breeches. Weapon is Scythe of the Cycle. Boots are Steward's Greaves. And your offhand is Lost Time, however it can be any offhand that you want. But this offhand just basically gives you some movement speed when you use a cold ability. So to start off with, your shoulders, the build, like I said, is self-sustaining. If you read the secondary here, Skeletal Mage gains the Gift of Death rune. You look at your Skeletal Mage, Gift of Death. Prison Mages leave a corpse behind when they die or expire. So when they expire, it's just corpses for you to devour to give you more essence. Helmet, we're running Leorc's Crown. This is for cooldown. You get sim uptime and also command golem uptime. Haunted Visions, with the build dealing more, your mage is dealing more damage with the more essence you have. This is a very huge amulet. Your gloves, Tasker and Theo. These are used mainly for the secondary. It gets you the only breakpoint that you need for skeletal mages. Then, however, on top of that, the stats that you get are just complementary on top of that. Chest piece, Requiem. If you read the secondary here, Devour restores an additional amount between 75 and 100% essence and life. This is another piece that helps you maintain self-sustainability. Nemesis bracers, we all know what those do. Clicking a pylon spawns an elite. Gold wrap, as I stated earlier, this synergizes with Avarice Band and Boon of the Hoarder, which Boon of the Hoarder at level 50 is max. 100% chance on killing an enemy to cause an explosion of gold. So not only does this give you gold to stack your gold rep, but it also increases your movement speed. Pants, this gives you more sustainability as well. Self-sustainability, because the secondary, your cooldown on command golem is reduced between 20 and 25 seconds. So the more often that you can use your command golem, the easier it is to get essence. Boots are Steward's Greaves. These are for pure movement speed and are amazing. It makes this build, like I said, one of the fastest builds in my opinion, clearing T16. Scythe of the Cycle, this is huge for your mages. Mine is rolled poorly on the secondary, but like I said, for Torment 16, you pretty much any ancient will do. Any ancient Scythe of the Cycle. Offhand, I use Lost Time for Torment farming simply because of the secondary. Your cold skills reduce the movement speed of enemies by 30%, and in addition, your movement speed is increased by a set amount between 8 and 10% after using hold skill. As for the abilities, Skeletal Mage Singularity, this puts out some very strong mages. Bone Armor, Harvest of Anguish, this really isn't doing anything other than proccing your offhand. And also the as you see there, bone armor also increases your movement speed by 1%. That's the Harvest of Anguish. Flesh Golem, or Command Golem, Flesh Golem. This is giving you your self-sustainability. As you see, Command Golem, you raise a Flesh Golem to fight for you. Flesh Golem deals 450. There we go. Command Golem to the targeted location where it collapses into a pile of 8 corpses. That's more of your self-sustainability for your essence. Devour, cannibalized. As you can see here, you consume corpses in 60 yards, restore 10 essence per corpse. Cannibalize just increases the amount of health. You can run pretty much anything you want in here. You can run Devouring Aura to make it a little easier, things like that. These other ones, like, you don't need life because you're going to be pretty much invulnerable once you get gold reps stacked after killing 2 or 3 mobs at the most. That you're basically cannot die unless you drop your gold stack. The word I'm looking for here. Basically, you're not going to die. Blood Rush Potency. I don't know why I have Potency on here, but you want to run Molting to give you more corpses for your essence. Simulacrum Reservoir. This increases your maximum essence by 100% while it's active. So, more essence, more damage. As for passives, we're running Blood is Power. Overwhelming Essence, Dark Reaping, and Fueled by Death. And then the last thing that I did not cover on gear was the Unity Ring and the ball. As for stats on gear, it's not super important, but the main thing that you're looking for is cooldown on the pieces that can get it. So like this, as long as you have intelligence and cooldown, that's fine. You want another complementary stat, that would be area damage, which you really would only need that on one piece, which would be your shoulders. However, it's not going to make or break anything, and you honestly don't even need it. For your helmet, ideal rolls here would be Int, Crit Chance, Skeletal Mage, and a high secondary. For your Haunted Visions, ideal rolls would be Crit Chance, Crit Damage, Physical Damage. However, something like mine would suffice, or even if you had something Int, cooldown, crit damage, you know, something along those lines, it's really not going to make that big of a difference. The ideal rolls are going to be physical, crit. For gloves, once again, cooldown is major here. Then focus on crit chance, crit damage, and then if you can get quadfectas like these, attack speed is a little bit nice of a stat here. It's kind of complementary. For your Requiem chestplate, you want Int Vite armor. Ideally, I mean, you have this for not only doing T16, but this chest piece helps you, and you run it for rat runs as well. So ideally, the secondary is what you're worried about here. Devour restores an additional percentage. You want to get that as close to 100% as possible. Your Nemesis bracers, you want physical, Int, Vit, crit. But once again, if you don't have vitality, which almost all of them are going to have it, it's not a big deal. So physical, Int, and crit chance. The belt really doesn't matter as long as it has intelligence on it. Rings really don't matter. Try to get cooldown on them if you can. So ideal rolls would be like cooldown and crit chance, crit damage. But ideally cooldown is what you're looking for here. And let's see here, your pants. And once again, Int is mainly what you're worried about here. But you also want some vitality maybe. But what you're looking for here is to get this as close to 25 as possible for the cooldown, because the less cooldown you have on Command Golem, the easier it is to be self-sustained with your essence. Scythe of the Cycle, once again, cooldown here, and then everything else is complementary, so anything after cooldown, you'd want percent damage, attack speed. But you also want to make sure here that the secondary you have maximum essence, because that plays a huge role into your damage. And then after that, you're looking at trying to get the secondary skills deal percentage as close to 400 possible. Your boots, you want, and you run these in rat runs as well. So rolling these to get them, you know, for those works as well. So Int, Vite, Armor, Skeletal Mage, and you want the secondary movement speed as close to 100% as possible, but you're just rolling the dice with how lucky you get with getting them. Your offhand, like I said, any offhand will, or any phylactery will work as long as you just want some cooldown on there. And then ideally you'd want crit chance and skeletal mage damage. But as you can see, something like mine is all you need. And then of course it rolls 8 to 10% on the secondary, but it's really not a huge deal. Just as long as you have this piece, it's just going to increase your movement. As for the cube, we run Raylena Shadowhook, Moribound Gauntlets, which your gauntlet makes your golem shed at a corpse every second. This helps you with sustainability. And Avarice Band. So every time you pick up gold, you increase your golden health pickup radius by 1 yard for 10 seconds, stacking up to 30 times. This gives you a huge pickup radius. Every time you kill something with your Boon of the Hoarder, it's dropping gold. And since your radius is very large, you're going to be picking up a ton of gold, and you will become invincible. Just make sure that gold stack doesn't drop, and if it does, just play kind of safe until you do get it stacked. You know, at least until you kill 1 or 2 mobs to get. Other than that, your other legendary gems that you'll be running is Bane of the Powerful. Really don't need this any higher than 25 or so for these runs, but if you want to run it higher for the longer duration, however high you want to get it, where you're comfortable with is fine. But your main damaging gem here is your Enforcer, which increases the damage of your pets by a set amount. Other than that, the way the build works, you basically want to be spamming your command golem every time it's off cooldown, which will give you corpses. So as you can see, I just expended all my mana, or all my essence. If I devour here and pick up these corpses, I'll get essence. So that brings in the next point. You want to constantly be spamming devour. So ideally, if you macro, that's fine. If you are scared to macro, afraid of things like that, you can always numb lock it. Other than that, Simulacrum, I also have this macro to be pressed at all times, but you can also use it situationally if you want to right before you're an elite, and when you're max essence with Sim, your mages will basically just one-shot an elite. Blood Rush, just for mobility, it's not going to be spammed like, say, your Dashing Strike Monk. You want to use it to get through walls, and you also just use it to proc your boots. As you can see here, my movement speed very fast. And that combined with bone armor, when you use it near enemies, is going to increase your movement speed even more. Not only because of Harvest of Anguish, but because of your offhand here. The only other thing we have is Skeletal Mage. You want to be casting this every time you're at or near full essence. And also, one thing to remember is mages will attack what you target. So when you get to an elite pack, make sure you target those elites, and it will burn them down very quick. So let's do a quick run. I'll show you what the build is capable of, and then we'll conclude the video. So like I said, this is Torment 16. Always macro your Devour and your Command Golem. Of course, we will get a Sewer. But as you come in here, as you'll see, everything I come to will die instantly from my mages. And yeah, other than that, it's just running through the rift, let your mages do their job, and go from there. Got one for fun. And as you can see, everything gets one shot, and I am semi-high Paragon. However, this build with lower Paragon, as long as you have enough Ancient Peak, will just tear through T16. And as you can see, just running through, I don't have to stop for anything. I mean, I could pick up some DBs. Other than that, your mages will take care of the work. You want to make sure that you are casting on the elites. As you'll see, I'll make sure I hover over them and click. But other than that, it's literally just running through, letting your mages do what they do best, which is kill things, and you'll be on your merry way. I hate that this gave me a horrible rift for this video. However, when you get outdoor maps with a ton of elites, or just a decent map in general, that's not a sewer, you can expect clear times between a minute and a minute and a half on average. I've had a clear as fast as, I think I've had a 38 or 40 second rift, and this rift just keeps getting better and better. Now we got Shrouded Moors with no mobs. One of the best rifts there is. Kidding, of course. As you can see, that was a jug right there, loaded. So, as long as you have all ancients, you don't need augs or anything. If you have decent rolls on your gear, it really, your Paragon is kind of irrelevant as long as you have the gear. as you get into 4-man groups, of course, the difficulty will get higher. Say you're farming with 3 other members, friends or something like that. You'll notice mobs will die a bit slower. However, it's just what it is. And as you can see there, boss is just deleted. So, with that being said though, guys, that will conclude this video. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask in the comments section, or you can hit me up on Twitch at twitch.tv/Gimpzorgaming. I have been trying to stream every day this season, so if there's something you don't know or something you don't understand, or maybe even a change that you think would be better for the build, let me know and I'll definitely try it out. And until next time, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Peace.